If you're thinking about upgrading from your 8-bit camera to a 10-bit camera like this Sony FX30 right here, there's a few hidden costs you're going to need to know about. I'm going to show you what they are right now. So if you're like me and you're coming from like a Mark II generation camera, or if you're dealing with Sony, or any of the other older cameras in the system, they shoot 100 megabytes per second, and you can handle that on most any good quality SD card. Now these new cameras have UHS 2 card slots, and they have a V90 rating. The first thing you're going to have to know about is your memory cards. UHS 2 V90 cards, they're not cheap. You're going to spend a couple $100 to get you a few of them. This one right here is about $100. Want a little bit better quality card or something different? Be prepared to spend some money on a card like this, so you can utilize all the features in this camera. The other option, of course, is to buy the Sony Type A cards. They're even more expensive, as you can see right here. Now, if you decide to go with the Type A's, you're pretty much covered for all your codecs here. With this V90 card right here, you can film all the frame rates available in this camera in regular movie mode. But if you move it from movie to S&Q, you will require a Type A card to film in the 240 frames per second in HD. Which brings us to point number 2. You're going to need more than one memory card, and probably more than 2 even. As you can see here in this list, there's several options available to you, but be prepared to pay for those more expensive cards. Now you also have the option of running the Sony's Type A CFast Express cards. Those Type A cards, they're not cheap right now. There's not many people making them. I think the Sony's just holding on to the market with those for a little while, but as you can see here in this list, they get much more expensive than that. What do you do with all these memory cards you have full? Well, you got to dump the footage. And dumping the footage to work on is going to require by point number 3, which is more hard drive space. You have the option of running SSD hard drives or standard spin disks. Spin disks are cheaper and you can get a lot more space than an SSD. The problem is, there's 1, there's 2, and there's 3. This is just 3 I don't have plugged in, but they're a good way to just store your footage and keep things. Really? You're gonna go dead on me now? The problem with these is they're slow to work off of. You almost can't work off of them, especially with these large files. So you're gonna have to have another SSD card that's rather large to hold all your work files for the project you're working on. Now you could use something like proxies or anything like that and be a little simpler, but ultimately you're gonna want to just have lots of hard drive space, and that comes at a cost. Bigger SSD cards are much more expensive than these spin disks, but these spin disks can get much larger sizes, but you can't really work off of them without lagging up your computer. And speaking of lagging up the computer, of course, larger file sizes, well, you're gonna need to probably upgrade your computer too. Now, so far, of everything I've shot with my FX30, I haven't needed a better computer than my MacBook Pro 14. And this is the base model MacBook Pro 14. It's 16 gigabytes of RAM with the base Pro processor and a 512 SSD hard drive. That's about the only thing this computer is lacking for me is more hard drive space, so I have my dongle SSD that I do plug into it that I keep my larger work files on. For most of these YouTube videos like this, I can work off the internal hard drive and it works just fine. So there you have it, guys. Those are the 4 things you're gonna have to think about when upgrading from a 8-bit to a 10-bit camera. But you're gonna have to keep in mind that it's gonna cost you a little bit more extra money to do that. So with that, guys, that's all I got for you today. Just a quick video about if you're deciding to upgrade to a camera like this, some of those hidden costs that are gonna be there for you. If you like this video, hit the like button. I really appreciate that. And if you haven't subscribed already, hit that subscribe button down below. Thank you for doing that. Anyways, we'll talk to you later. We'll see you in the next video.